major crash. This is what happens when you depend on Disney Wi-Fi. But I've been starting to run out of data by going this with data, so I have to go with Disney Wi-Fi today. Sorry about that. Anyhow, we move on. This is also here at this particular spot between the restaurant on La Hacienda and the Mexico Pavilion itself is where you have the most major log jams, because the promenade is much thinner here, skinnier. A lot of so if it's there's a lot of log jams along here. Just for those who do not know that there's a problem with that. Donald Duck warning coming up. This is the usually Donald Duck's about the only character I've seen in here, but there could be more. I'm sure some of you know, so I've seen others in there probably. When the band entertains, this is where they usually do it, right over here. In this. Okay, I'm having all kinds of problems here, folks. I'm sorry that I keep going off and on. I apologize preemptively. I'm going to try to stay on, but Wi-Fi, and they should be ashamed of their Wi-Fi here. They really should. It's just bad. All right, we move on. Big company like this, they got to do better. Anyhow, we approach Norway. Very popular, of course, because of two things: the ride here on the other side of where the wide entrance is, and the restaurants, which is princesses and stuff. It's a nice alternative to the castle at Magic Kingdom, by the way. You can see practically the same princesses, but it's a little easier to get that reservation, but it's pretty popular too. But on this side of it is a little quieter area for sure, and the restrooms are right here too. But again, Norway is usually pretty dang busy, you know, and they have the bakery is very popular with people. So they have, this is not a place I would suggest to seek the peace and quiet on the Norway Pavilion, of the World Showcase. This is a pretty populated area usually, unless you go in there. In the Stave Church, there's a large group of people who do not even know, and I tell people this every time, do not even know that this place, you can walk into it. They just think it's just there as a couple of little diorama, a little history lesson here and there about their gods. Thor, I don't know how you pronounce that name, Loki, and Freya, and Odin over there. So they give you a little history lesson and some artifacts from eras of Loki's the god of mischief. We all know. Anybody who watches Marvel knows that. I don't think, if it wasn't for Marvel, I don't think anybody knows who Loki is. Anyhow, there's the entrance to the rides on one side, the restaurants on the other, and you can see they're already stacking up. Yeah, I would say Oscar is almost as popular as the Princess, as the castle at Magic Kingdom, because it's a hard reservation to get now too. The bakery is very popular. All the entrances to those things, the bakery, the restaurant, and the ride are all in this area. It is absolutely nutto here, usually all the time. So, not suggested for quiet time, but if you like activity or you want to get on this ride, this is where you come. And this, at the early opening, for resort guests, this ride is open right away, as is Ratatouille over in France. So there's, if you want to do a 8:30 thing, you probably have your best shot, especially at Ratatouille, of getting on in a reasonable amount of time. But both of these rides are very popular. Both of these rides are, easily over an hour later in the day. So, unless you want to pay for it, of course. China. All right. Here's the thing. China is one of my favorites. As anybody who follows along knows that Canada, China, and Morocco are my favorite pavilions. Easy. It's not even close after that. Eileen had the pan-fried chicken dumplings here. I had the crispy duck bao bun. They're both very, very good. Honestly, they're good. And it's when they say crispy duck, it is, believe it or not, crispy duck with a nice sweet sour sauce on it. Hoisin is very nice sauce, and on a bao bun, excellent. And Eileen had the dumplings with, and there's stuffed chicken, and she said that was excellent too. She had a second one; she liked it so much. She made it her lunch the other day. Like I said, these aren't even open yet, and they won't be for a little while yet, which I'm okay with because this is easy to walk around World Showcase at this time of the day. That's why I do this at this time of the day. This is just such a beautiful pavilion. Just beautiful. It really is. It's just freaking fracking gorgeous. And this is, the restaurant, which is, it's okay. The food is okay, but it's a beautiful restaurant, and especially outside. The inside is, they've kind of modernized it up in the inside a little bit, but it's not bad. It's pretty. But the outside of this restaurant, the outside of everything here is unbelievably beautiful. They have some nice shops here with. Hi. Look who I found. Oh, she's angry. Why are you mad?
You left me?
I looked for you when I came out of Canada.
I thought you would come back the same path you went down.
Oh, I looked all over for you. I thought you were going to wait out in the promenade. So in this area here, back here, there's the main entrance, and we're going to go in there just because I love to go right inside the rotunda area there, because it's one of the most stunning areas in the park. But back here is the counter service, which is lovely. But and it's okay. It's about like stuff you'd get at a food court somewhere. But the shops and this is just a lovely area back here. And again, another nice quiet area. A couple benches to sit on, some of them in the shade like back here. And the further back you go, the quieter it is in all the pavilions, not just this one. But there's, again, I don't know how many people even know about back here because they never go back this far. This is where you come out of the movie, which is nice. I love the movie. I try to see it every time I can. And that leads you right in, of course, to the shops. And it's one of the grand Disney traditions that they continue in China. Right from the ride into the shops. But otherwise, this is a very quiet area. And usually there's not a lot of people at the movie to disturb you that much, but it's a nice cool area back there. The air conditioning is on back there. It's not as cool as being inside, but it's still very nice. And the shops along here are unusual. Some cool stuff. You get some really cool stuff there. I'm having immense connectivity problems. I got on data and that didn't help at all. They kept saying I was offline. So I'm assuming I can't do it because I don't have enough data. Well, I'm okay right now. It seems to be okay right now. I don't know. People, can you hear me? I don't know. If you can't, can you let me know that everything's good right now? All right. I'm going inside the rotunda real quickly. Hi, how are you?
Thanks. How about yourself?
I can't complain yet. How can you complain?
Good.
World Showcase, hardly anybody in it.
Right?
Yeah. Loveliest place on grounds. Why can you complain? This is another reason I love China. Of all the beautiful gardening areas and water features and stuff. I'm not going to see the movie right now. I'm not going to see the movie right now. Yeah, I'm just saying that's not why I'm going in.
So, good morning, folks.
Hi.
If you want to bring your vehicle inside our temple, just use the next door. Okay. No
Yeah, I'm just walking in here real quick. Okay, on hot days like this is where you meet Mulan. For anybody with kids, especially who like Mulan, she comes indoors, which is smart because it is already hotter than Hades outside. There's Mulan right there with a little kid. There's a little queue right here. But this is why I'm here. The rotunda area is beautiful. Anybody who goes with me on these things every time we come knows I do this. Because it is remarkable. Oh my goodness! Hi, sweetie! There's my grandniece, she's here. Look at that! There's my goddaughter, say hi. Oh, they left before us. Hi, sweetie. Thanks for the hug. Alana. Okay.
Who's your crazy mom?
Yeah. In the flesh. I'll see you later, sweetie pie, okay? And stop looking so cute. That was a nice respite for me, seeing my niece and my grandniece. Thanks, Tina. I think the problem is I'm out of data, like I said before, so I have to go with Disney Wi-Fi, which I hate, but that's the way it's going to go. Now, where's Eileen? Okay, honey, I just want to do this. I'll come up to you. You know, oh, by the way, Michelle and Alana are in there in line for Mulan. I should mention that to Eileen. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm doing my rotunda shot like this, and I get a big hug on my legs. It's Alana.
Our little boo from the
Yeah. Hi, Uncle Charlie. Yeah, that's the ramps over here. But again, a nice apparently you've told us this before. But the thing is that when you walk off the main promenade back to many of these pavilions, not Norway nor France either for that matter, because of the big rides they have there, it's hard. Honey, what's the matter, sweetie? It's easy to tell the difference of where you are because it's so much quieter back here. You know, you can hear the noise level pick up as you reach the main promenade. Not so much right now because it's not that busy yet, but it's just, you know, it just is. It's just so much nicer. What are you doing? Oh, well, of course you are. This is lovely along here. You can ride along it. There's all kinds of lovely little spots like this all throughout here. There's just more on the other side. It's just beautiful here. When I show you the rotunda, inside of the building is as lovely as the outside. And it's there's very few the pavilions you can say that they're lovely inside as outside. Most of the time when you get inside, it's kind of industrial strength. But here, inside, outside are all just so lovely. So lovely. Sorry again, folks, for the interruptions. There was another one, I know. Sorry. I just cannot stand. Here's the gate here. You can get into these nice garden areas quite easily. It's easy to get around in this place for people with UTVs and wheelchairs and such, which I think is very much appreciated by people who have them. See, over there by Germany is one of the docks they don't use anymore. I always said don't you think that these docks would be a nice place to have one of the fireworks parties? They're right out in the water like that. I think it would be a nice shop place to do it, to watch the fireworks show, because they don't use them anyhow. But what do I know? We're approaching the nondescript area, which is basically loosely African, not any country in particular, just African, kind of a continent thing. This is an area that's wide open. There's been so many rumors of some country's going to move in here and build a pavilion and stuff. All kinds of rumors of different countries. South Africa has been rumored. Brazil has been rumored. That's the two I can think of off the top of my head, but there's been others. And none of that has ever happened. So they've made it kind of into a non-committal African area, because I think out of guilt that there's no African countries related that are represented otherwise in World Showcase. Well, I think it's because it's the commitment from countries to these pavilions. It's pretty immense. Yeah, thanks, Tina. Yeah, but I think it's kind of a guilt thing too. I think they'd love to get an African country in here. That's why I think the rumor was they approached South Africa, because South Africa is one of the African countries that has a few bucks. They might be able to afford a commitment like this, but I guess they weren't. Australia, that's another country I remember reading about as a possibility here, but no go yet. So I don't know if that'll ever happen, and maybe it'll be like this forever and ever and ever. But you can see there's plenty of space for another pavilion here. That was the plan originally. There was going to be a future pavilion in here, in this space, but not so far. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's a cute little area. The kids love to do the drums over there that they set up. And there's a lot of, on occasion, African artists over there to demonstrating their skill. Everything. It's kind of neat that way. But like I said, it's very... Sorry, people. Something happened there. Anyhow, there's this Kenyan booth. My sister, like I said, my sister ate at it. She loved it. She said it was absolutely terrific. This is what I've been seeing more and more, are these guest experience team kiosks here. They're all over the parks. I don't remember seeing so many of them. Not that they never had them before, but there's so many of them now. They're all over the parks, which I think is probably a good thing. Absolutely a good thing. Because people have questions all over the parks, not just in the one spot they put up in the park. So It's someplace that you just, hey, there's a guest experience place. Let's run over there and talk to them, and it's really good. If you like cheese, the Alps is where you come. Everything they offer there is cheese related. And we're, of course, in Germany. My ancestry is Germany, and German and Irish, and so, and I don't particularly like German food, so I'm not a very good German person. Not very good at it at all. I don't mind some Irish food. I like that Cullican sausage very much, but I'm not a big German food fan. It's very heavy. And the language, I don't like the German language either, because it sounds like you're always mad. For who? Oh, they're setting up for some photo thing here, or filming of some sort. I don't know. They're putting, they're talking to two people, actually, probably the performers there. Maybe it's a commercial or something. Who knows? This is a nice pavilion. This is one of the pavilions, however, you really don't need it to walk into too much because everything is right in front of you, really, as far as it goes right here. Now behind it, can you see that white little citadels back there? Behind it, they had built an attraction. Some kind of Bavarian, ride, a mountain ride maybe? I can't remember. Caramel Kush, great. But up there, they had built, they were started to build at least, I shouldn't say they built it all, but they started to build an attraction that was going to be here at Germany, but then it got the kibosh. Maybe because the people who were helping invest in that didn't want to do it, it's too much money, whatever. But this is it, you know what I mean? This is as far as it goes. And Summerfest over here is the counter service. Some people like sausages. I'm not one of them. On Beer Garden, we've eaten there before. I like it. It's a nice buffet. It's a buffet, and it's nice. But the problem, or the benefit, depending on how you walk out, is that if you're a small party, like you're a couple, or four even, you wind up sitting at a big table with another group of people that you never met in your life. Now that can be good. You could have a lot of fun with them, or it could be bad, like my and I had a group that were just ridiculous. They were just a bunch of slobs, I mean, they were just dumping stuff all over the place. One guy complained they didn't have the American food. Where's the American food? What a dip. And they were very odd, and it just, it was a bad experience. And it wasn't Beer Garden's fault. Well, the seating arrangements are, so yeah. Because they will not, you very rarely set a small party at an individual. They're all really long tables. It's after a beer garden in Germany, based on beer gardens and stuff. So yeah, I understand the concept, but understand that, if you're doing a large group, it's great. Really, it's really neat. It's fun because they can seat you. I think the tables feet are 8 to 10 people can sit at them, something like that. So we've done EOE when we had a thing. We took 2 tables up. Was it 2 tables we did here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we took 2 of the tables up, right next to each other, pretty much, and that was nice. That's nice, but like I said, my daughter and I got stuck with a group of people that were just totally whack, and that was not fun. The food's good though. I mean, the food's solid. There's one of the prettiest restrooms around. There's the Spanish food booth over there. But you're going to one of my favorite areas. And I'm just gonna walk through this quickly. People, I know many times I've spent far too much time here. So I'm gonna go easy. I'm planning on watching the movie. The China movie after this, or go on American Adventure maybe or something, So here we have the trains at Germany. Okay, are we back? Good. And we set up houses and villages and stuff. We would help, and he'd set up a village village around the Christmas tree, and then another one downstairs on our ping pong table downstairs. That was the really big one. And when he died, we each the four kids, we all got one of the model train sets, or two of them. Model train sets. We each have them now. Honest to God, I only once tried to set it up. And somebody told me that those trains are worth a few bucks. So I'm not going to give them up, though. I just, there's usually 3 trains running here. Eventually, I think there's only 2 right now that I can see. Oh, no, 4 running. Good. They are. And they run and come down here then through these little tunnels here and there. But they come through a tunnel. That one's coming through right now. And then they come out here. He should come out. There he is. Yeah, we used to have the little pellets that you had to make. If you threw them in the smokestacks of a couple of trains, they'd make smoke. It was probably unhealthy as hell. But we didn't know that then. And it's just a great memory for me.